pressing the start button. Let's kick this lunch off. What is up, Foxes? What's up, Lo-Fi Girl? Love you, Lo-Fi Girl. But I am going to disconnect you just for now, so we can get this lunch party started. GM fam, how y'all doing today?
Whoop whoop.
Woof woof. What's up, GK? Did you say woof woof?
Yeah, sure, we'll go with that.
Okay. Cool. Woof woof. Meow meow. Whatever the fox says. Hope you guys are doing well. It's been a busy day. I've been pretty much in back-to-back meetings since 9 a.m. But they've all been good ones, and I'm looking forward to this one. I do have a hard stop in 30 minutes. I'm going to go hop off to a call with the Ichi team. Well, I'm looking forward to hanging with for the first 30 minutes with you guys, and then you guys can run the second half of the show. If anyone's joining for the first time, this is our weekly lunch AMA where anyone can ask anyone anything. All questions are fair game, although questions related to the DAO, or at least to crypto, tend to get the best answers. And yeah, anyone can chime in with their answers. So we have this anonymous forum. If you want to submit a question anonymously, there's a link at the top of the stage chat. I'll check that out, see if we've got any anonymous questions. We do not. So I'll open it up to you. Do you guys have any questions you'd like to raise to the group, or any topics you'd like to bring up?
Everybody at once. All right.
I have one.
What's up, Darwin? Thank you.
Hey, so what do you think about Eric's tweet about CoinCap? Do you think
Yeah, did you guys see that?
Yeah, I saw that. That's a good question.
What was the tweet about, Darwin?
Do you think the DAO should do something?
Oh,
Buy it from centralization?
Basically.
You were talking about, was there another tweet I didn't see? I saw a tweet about like, hey, would anyone be interested in purchasing CoinCap?
Yeah.
Is there another tweet? Okay, cool. Does anyone have that tweet handy? It'd be cool to post it in stage chat because it was a fun tweet. Yeah, what do you guys think about that? I will say for the DAO right now to acquire CoinCap, there are some there would be some challenges with that. The DAO couldn't itself like operate CoinCap in a decentralized way. At least all the current architecture for CoinCap is very much centralized, and it could arguably be the type of app that, at least right now, makes sense to be centralized because it requires so much data. So it's much cheaper to host it on a single database or a couple of redundant databases as opposed to a distributed network. So yeah, it's an interesting question. I would say my gut says that it probably makes sense for us to just focus on our current interface and protocols like Foxy and CoinCap, and leave CoinCap up to a centralized provider to acquire. I'm open to ideas. What do you think?
I thought it was really weird because I'm using it recently and going, man, what's this going on? We need to do something with this because, how about adding more coins? How do I get somebody to, add an extra coin? And it's like no one would answer this question. And it's like, I wonder how much that would be going for. I'd love to do it, but I know it's way out of my ball game. All out of the same type of game. But
yeah, you're wondering how much you're thinking about. You might buy a CoinCap, Giant King.
I'd love to, but I know it's way out of my range.
Likewise, yeah. I don't know the exact amount. I mean, I know that other similar like CoinMarketCap, I think sold for like 450 million. Someone correct me if I'm off there. And Blockfolio sold for like 150 million. CoinMarketCap though is also one of the top just websites in general. It gets like a ton. I think it's in the top 100 of all websites in terms of the traffic it receives, because that's DJs like to check prices 100 times a day. So yeah, it's going to be, I would imagine like probably 8 figures, somewhere in that range. That's what I'm hoping for, at least.
Right.
And yeah, right now it's not operating. Yeah, I'm actually not even entirely clear on like what the team that is operating CoinCap looks like right now. I know the foundation is basically hosting and maintaining all the infrastructure. And one of the cool things about CoinCap is that right now at this point, it takes very little effort to maintain and keep running. But to your point, Giant Ken, like things like adding new exchanges and adding new coins, those take a team, dedicated to it. And I don't think right now CoinCap has. I think it's basically.
Not a little bit.
I don't want to say survival. It's like autopilot mode, waiting for an.
Willie, you're cutting out really bad.
Oh no. Well, hopefully that improves. I'll see if I can get.
What operating costs would be on CoinCap? What was the team? How many people were working on it? Like at the end, like 5. I thought I saw like 4 or 5 people working on CoinCap like a few months ago. Just like 3 or 4 engineers, right?
Yeah. So ShapeShift used to have a whole dedicated team for CoinCap, and then as we started focusing more on beta.shapeshift.com, CoinCap became didn't have its own dedicated team, but certain engineers and stuff would do the work to add new exchanges and new coins when necessary. Once we started focusing on the DAO, we made the decision to basically kind of appoint like an interim CEO and give him a budget. And he hired a small engineering team of like contractors that were dedicated to CoinCap for a while. And a big part of what their goal there was to not only continue maintaining so that the rest of the engineers could focus on the DAO in the future, but also getting it ready to be acquirable. So doing things kind of figuring out what is the best roadmap over the next 6 months. What are the things that we can do that will make CoinCap the most attractive purchase to a buyer? Because the plan was not to try and have the DAO take over CoinCap, although that is an option. It's certainly something we can explore, but definitely would have a number of challenges. So yeah, there was a small. It does not take us. That team wasn't just focused on maintaining it. Maintaining it again is very simple. You could probably have one engineer, I think, one full-time engineer that could do everything, like add all of the assets and exchanges. But you'd probably also, that's just again to maintain it. Who knows? I think likely whoever acquires it will have plans. And it's interesting too. I know that they might not even just have plans of continuing to operate it as CoinCap. They might be more interested in the data and using it for their own internal purposes. So it's pretty interesting. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see who ends up buying that. There's only a handful of blockchain companies and stuff that I think are candidates.
Was there a revenue source in CoinCap before? Like, was it making money?
CoinCap was always provided as a free product. Ads on it either, so also the API, anyone can use it for free. And ShapeShift, we getting price data for all. That's kind of the main to us for that acquisition too.
We're missing every other word, Billy.
Oh no!
Yeah, I think you're breaking up a little bit. Anybody see that thread on Atom Staking by OX?
Can you post it, Hunt, and tell us about it?
Yeah, I'll try to. I'll see if I can pull up that link real fast. Actually, I have HPain here. While I find that link, you want to talk about what we're about to release on that. I think we're about to do some follow-up content, but we were waiting for something to be fixed.
On related to what? Follow-up content for what?
The release today that OXDeFi posted.
I don't know if I could speak on that. At least I'm not prepared to speak on that. I have to go do some looking real quick.
I'm trying to find this.
I dropped the link in general.
Thanks, dude. Sweet. Yeah, so I'm not exactly sure what's broken, so I don't want to like show it too hard. What was being fixed, HPain? Do you know that at least?
No, I don't. I could go to the thread, but it was a some sort of.
There's something's funky with it right now, so I don't want to show it too hard, Willie. But
Good to know. PTT, do you know what the issue is by any chance?
Oh, it was the Atom claim reward.
yeah, something's weird. I think we might be holding off on blog content for it right now.
PT said that it was the transaction history was borked. Yeah, Adam claim got fixed yesterday.
Nice.
Yeah.
Glad it's just history. That's not,
Almost live, right?
the blog is live, yeah. But I think, it can make sense to hold off on shilling it too hard until that is fit.
Yeah.
It's exciting, though. I'm excited for us to shill it. It seems like we've got some good support so far from them. Yeah.
Do you know if Gem is ever going to add Atom support or any?
It's a good question for them, but I do know that Banxa already has Atom support, so we will have the ability to buy Cosmos directly in the app imminently. I would say, like, in the next week. I'll be surprised if that's not live.
It's like one of the few things I use either Coinbase or Binance for is just to buy Atom and then send it over.
Totally, I'm excited. I'm really excited that we can. As soon as we add Cosmos support and we got Banxa, we can turn on Cosmos because Banxa supports it. And if Jim does support Cosmos, then we can turn it on with him as well. Pretty cool, and it'll be great it should be very low fees. Transaction fees on Cosmos are cheap. It's exciting. I'm really excited that we got this first milestone, and this should open the door for supporting a lot of these other Cosmos zones. The way that engineering has built the integration, because a lot of these Cosmos zones all use the same Cosmos SDK, it's going to be relatively easy for us to support new Cosmos zones now that we have this core implementation. So really excited for this kind of, we're doing something cool again, right? Like the ShapeShift app was cool before. You could go in there, you could see your portfolio, you could trade, you could earn yield, and that's valuable, but it's not necessarily that unique, even though we like to think it's the best experience for it.
What are you thinking? What are you thinking in terms of like being the best experience for like incentivizing like the Fox or whatever it may be, like the platform again? Because things were incentivized previously. Like a lot of people are familiar, or some people might be familiar with like rainfall rewards or things like that. Has product been thinking about any like incent mechanisms? I know they're tricky.
We have a really clear vision for it. And I'm really excited about it. In terms of really being the best, we have a vision for all of these protocols where affiliate revenues activity. We want to actually reward users with Fox. And we can do this again across chains. We can reward users with Fox on Ethereum, or we could even reward them with Fox on like another EV network like Gnosis Chain. So it's cheap to claim. And we could reward them on Gnosis Chain even for activity on Cosmos that generates revenue for the DAO. It would be an opt-in program, so basically they could still use the platform for free and enjoy all the features without opting in. If they basically sign a message for each of the chains that they want to earn rewards on with the public address of those rewards to be sent to, we can do this in a decentralized way. Anyone really could run a script. There's really a public script that will calculate revenue basically. The given address, the addresses who have opted in have generated for the DAO over the past, let's say it's a week period where we offer these, we give these rewards every week. And as a user, you'd be able to see in the UI if you're opted into this program. Oh, cool! If I deposit $1,000 in turn, I'm going to earn 5 Fox. Very cool. If I do trade right here, I'm going to earn 7 Fox, and it doesn't cost me any extra than if I went directly to this protocol. That's so powerful, and I think. Priority quite yet, because again we're focused on making a great product that can stand on its own. But once we have a lot of that core functionality in place, I do think it will make sense for us to prioritize this reward program, and then we objectively be the best. If you're just going directly into these protocols interfaces, you are losing on Fox you could otherwise receive. So it's that opportunity cost, and as soon as we can really promote user acquisition and help get Fox into a lot of the hands of our users and really just strengthen the community and a really strong community of owners who love ShapeShift, love the product, and will help us, will tell the world about how awesome ShapeShift is and help us attract users. And as we get more of these users, top users using DAO, that just our network's effects and our leverage to go to these protocols and make proposals to their governments to say, if you want to be integrated into ShapeShift, and if you wanted to have Fox to use your protocol, then you need to share affiliate revenues. And if you want all the top DeFi users, ShapeShift, then we're going to have a lot of leverage. And pretty cool because pretty much all the protocols share affiliate revenues. But that's a powerful model because we can generate sustainable revenues to reward Fox to our users, generate that revenue sustainably. And it's going to be very hard to compete with our network effects once we've established them. It's going to be very hard for a new competitor to come in and undercut us with fees because we're already free. To offer more incentives in a sustainable way is going to be very difficult as we build these network effects. So that's one of the things I was excited about. But I understand that first we got to build off its own.
Yeah, but I'd be interested to see like how big of an increase in like affiliate revenues we actually do see, like when we like do small like incent mechanisms like that. Could have like exponential effect in terms of like profitability as like a DAO, really, to be honest. So it'll be cool to like play around with those incents and see how we can drive more revenue for sure.
Totally.
I see.
I'm excited.
Better say something, Gray. I don't want to interrupt you.
Well, I was
Gray?
just one circling thought I've had as the key work stream keeps. I mean, they're trying to get up and running and get integrated. I feel like, I think that's an untapped opportunity. Like much like Apple does this. Like Apple is an ecosystem, right? Like like Microsoft is a software company or Dell is a hardware company. Apple is a software and hardware company, and they design things to work together, and that's why you're not dealing with all these graphics driver issues and because the software and hardware are, I know there's a lot of third parties, but essentially they're designed to work together. They might be manufactured in different continents, but whatever. But the idea is that it's a software hardware combination, and that they kind of sell it as a premium, but I don't think we need to do that, but I do think that we could lean on that a little bit more of like everybody, like as you move away from Coinbase and Binance and all that, and hopefully you have 2FA enabled. But as what we're trying to do is kind of draw people away and pull people into DeFi and away from the centralized exchanges. And every single one of them should have a hardware key. And if you go on Google, like you're going to mostly see Ledger or whatever. And I think something for us to lean on as we drive people to ShapeShift's wallet is to drive that hardware combination as well, like that they are hand in hand. Like you are using ShapeShift, you are using KeepKey. That's kind of the thought I've had. I know there's a long path ahead of us to get more integrated with the world via Wallet Connect and all that. We all hate MetaMask, but we all end up using it, right? Because that's what you have to use. But I think there's a huge potential there as we open things up or get KeepKey more integrated and drive more people to ShapeShift, that we put these together and that we drive sales of KeepKeys. Because hardware, that's like there's no better revenue stream really than to have a warehouse full of KeepKeys that you are, just any sort of hardware basically that you're selling at a profit. So that was a thought.
Right, like that's how I see ShapeShift. Like honestly, like the concept that you have like for us like moving forward with KeepKey is actually like how I have seen ShapeShift for like years. I know Giantkin does as well. I bet Willie has some thoughts on it too. But like I really personally want to see that brand like stay together, and I think like ShapeShift like as a brand, whether DAO now or whatever, like from a brand like branding perspective, like KeepKey is like there, like for me, and I know like there's probably a large majority of like long-term like Shapeshift users that, whether like centralized or down now, like there's still like Shapeshift users and KeepKey users that do feel that connection when they are like involved with Shapeshift and like using the products and stuff. So I think it's really important to try to maintain and like grow it a lot more than we have. We haven't really been focusing on it as a DAO, but it's still there, in my opinion. So I think I'm super supportive of Highliner and Pasta and like what they've been doing. And I've been supportive of I was supportive of the first proposal, and I'm supportive of the next one too, of course. So yeah, I definitely want to see that stay together.
Likewise, I think one thing that you guys are absolutely right about is that this is going to be one of the best revenue streams for the DAO. As soon as this proposal passes, we're going to be getting 50% of every KeepKey sale, period, is going to be going to the DAO treasury. And KeepKeys are like $50, so that's $25 per sale. Plus, it's a new user. Every time we sell a KeepKey, that's a user that we've acquired for ShapeShift, because ShapeShift is the primary interface for it. So yeah, I would love to see once this proposal passes for marketing to really push hard on KeepKey, especially because KeepKey is a great freaking hardware wallet. Like just like you were saying, with we a lot of us use MetaMask because we have to create a machine. I use Ledger because I have to, but I do not like Ledger. I much prefer using KeepKey. But KeepKey, it's been missing just a couple core things. And one of the biggest things that I think has held KeepKey back over the years and has enabled Trezor and Ledger to kind of win and become more of winners as KeepKey has kind of fallen behind, is that you can't use DeFi with it. You can't use dApps, or you haven't been able to historically. There's only recently KeepKey got added to onboard.js, but still it hasn't been integrated to a lot of dApps. That will be changing soon with Wallet Connect. Finally, KeepKey users will be able to use any dApp that uses that supports Wallet Connect, which is pretty much every dApp. And I think at that time we can really make a great push around KeepKey. Not only it's one of the cheapest hardware wallets, it's the best hardware wallet. It now supports dApps, and it's pretty cool that the fact that when you buy one of these KeepKeys, you're supporting ShapeShiftDAO. Half of the revenues is going to go to the DAO treasury to fund the development of this open source, community-owned, soon decentralized interface, and 10% is going to go directly to Fox holders. So every Fox holder will have an incentive to shield KeepKey. Or every Foxy holder at least will have an incentive to shield KeepKey. Really, every Fox holder, because funds go to the DAO treasury. So yeah, I think it should be a big push for us, and I think it'll be. Yeah, I think it's got a lot of potential once KeepKey does support these dApps and stuff for KeepKey to really make a very strong comeback. And a cool thing that we can consider doing too is doing some Fox incentives on it, so that if you buy a KeepKey, the DAO's running revenue, and maybe we give you some Fox as a reward once you set your KeepKey up. All right, I got 5 more minutes before I got to hop onto this next call.
And before you go, I set this up 2 weeks ago. Have you heard of Orbit?
Orbit, the flight aggregator.
It's more of a kind of like Sobol, but way better.
Cool. No, I haven't heard about it yet.
I put in the DAO stage the link to it. I've been letting it build just right now. Just have Discord connected, but it'll do Discourse, Circle. I don't know that one. Some kind of the GitHub, a few others. Notion. You can connect. It's more of a. It's a nice. It shows some cool stuff. How about that? I actually was introduced on Giveth for it, so you might want to look at it and see some of the possibilities. Right now, I can't add another one because their integration tool is off. But as soon as it's back, I'll try to add some more. And I thought it was fun. Might be more for marketing, but
Interesting. Yeah, cool to hear that Giveth is using it. Thanks for sharing, GK. I'm curious. Do you know if Giveth is moving off of Sobol, or are they using this as like a complement to it as opposed to a replacement?
I don't know about that. It's more of, do they even use Sobol?
We do use Sobol.
Okay. It was more, I was introduced more to it because of all the info that they could use and see. There's a lot more power to it. I'm actually in that one too. Let me switch over so I can remember what the heck it was.
thanks for sharing, dude. And yeah, just I look forward to checking it out. Appreciate you guys bringing up better tools. We should always, we're not married to any of these tools, and we should always be seeing if there's a better tool to fulfill our needs. Especially knowing that a lot of these tools are very early stage and things are going to change a lot over the couple of years. So, I will check out Orbit. GK, do you think it's what do you think would be the best next steps, like for us to see if it's a fit?
Just looking at it and see how it works first, because I turned it on and then I haven't really looked at it much since then, because I wanted to build some data. So like I said, I connected it to Discord, and that's all I've done so far.
Yeah, I'm checking out.
Showing the how many messages have done on, how many members have joined, that sort of thing. It's all that sort of stuff. It's pretty cool. I don't know.
It definitely seems cool just looking at it. Sweet, those sound like great next steps. Thanks for plugging everything in there, and would love to see a kind of a demo once you plugged everything in there if you think it could be useful.
Right, and I guess you can connect to other organizations somehow and show their stuff, because I'm on their organization page now, and it's just a lot of different more connections you can do. I'll leave that one alone so you can go on.
Sweet. All right, I gotta hop off. Lunch AMA is y'all's. Would anyone like to volunteer to be kind of the facilitator in case things get stuck? Or do you guys want to go just pure anarchy?
Do it anarchy, man.
We'll be around.
Sweet. Pure anarchy works. Cool. Appreciate you guys.
Later, Willie. And Everwoods, what's the status on Atom staking and everything? Are we good to go? Everything?
Yeah, we're good, man. We just fixed the WebSocket too. It's all happy.
Yeah, full send. All right, thanks, guys.
Full send. Sick the army onto my tweets.
Is it only native wallet that's working right now, or is it KeepKey too?
All of them. Yep.
I just saw Gray Machine earlier saying he wasn't able to get it to work with KeepKey, but maybe figured that out.
Just about to check it again. I got a notice to reload the page, reload the app, so we'll give it a try. It definitely wasn't showing up like a half hour ago. It was showing up native, but not KeepKey. So I'm literally.
Have you done your firmware update?
Yeah, you gotta have firmware update. That's what I was gonna say. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Up in the top right, there's the KeepKey settings menu. You can grab the new firmware.
Because it's on my other monitor.
Yeah, that could be it
It
too.
was way over here. Yeah, I was looking at the wrong monitor.
Well, that's super awesome anyway. So great job, DeFi, pushing that through, and the whole engineering team. It's really awesome to see that, and we'll get to reshield this all again, hopefully in a few weeks when we get Kepler support.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, I'm going to update my own firmware now. Use production to do it.
Yeah, I'm waiting on mine. There's a bug that Josh pointed out the other day, so I'm gonna test that bug out on the old firmware to make sure before I update mine, but I need to do mine as well. Sorry, Hunt, when you asked, I didn't have my mic on. I was eating.
Oh, you're good, man. I need to eat too, honestly.
I wonder with this is just kind of another thought. I wonder if there's some chance that we could talk to Kepler and actually get them to support KeepKey. Because it would be really cool if you could plug your KeepKey into Kepler and then use it with all these various things.
Yeah, totally. That would be the way to do it, right? Because they support Ledger already. It'd be cool to have that.
Yeah, I'll think about that. We can probably follow up with them in there. They might be interested in that. I don't know what level of effort that would be on their side, but yeah, they only support Ledger right now, so they might be interested in that.
Seth, how's the education team doing? So you just jumped on.
Things have slowed down a bit now that we're in the final week of our term. The basic gist is that we've more or less finished the DAO resource guide. And soon we're going to be trying to forge connections with workstream leaders and other people so that they can start using them, right? So we've created the docs. Now it's time to disseminate them to the DAO and to set up the system so that we can get feedback and make continual progress.
Jess sent me something about some like live stream stuff, or you're planning some things with her. Anything you want to go over with the people?
All right. Yeah, so Jess's idea is essentially doing something like I think it's a monthly podcast where we we get people in and we ask and answer various questions about life in crypto, and it's just an easy free form way for us to produce continual content and extend our influence. So I think it's a really good idea, and I told her I'll do whatever I can to support making it happen.
That's sweet. Did you see that C4 live stream earlier?
I have it, but I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, Willie and Kent and a few people are on.
I'll be watching it later this afternoon.
I'll have to catch up on that one too. Hey, DeFi, quick question. I know we were focused on the prod issue. Did we return on instant unstake on Foxy while we were doing the push, or we could do that later if you want?
We can do it on later. I just wait on the call from John and Willie to do that. I can just YOLO that prod when we're ready.
Cool.
What else are you testing this week? Never was. What are you working on?
Well, we had the release mainly today was focused on the Cosmos stuff, obviously, but we did have some stuff behind there, behind flags. It wasn't forward facing for our users, but we've had 3 releases so far this week. One more tomorrow. So the engineering team has been cranking out a lot of stuff for us to do. But yeah, we've been just kind of getting things set up. I see DeFi and his team are getting things set up for the next major releases that are coming out with, he's putting stuff behind flags and stuff for us to be able to test, and it's getting there. They're moving very fast. So there's a ton of stuff.
Yeah, we got heaps of stuff on the roadmap. We got like Bankser is coming. We've got multiple fiat currencies coming. We're kind of like one PR away there. We've got XDeFi, which are waiting on them upstream. Kepler Wallet's happening. Wallet Connect bounty is out. We're doing a lot of the groundwork, which will unlock the EVM networks. I'd have to look at the roadmap. That's just off the top of my head. Got a lot of stuff kind of in flight at the moment. What else we got?
The keep key password, or the recovery seed, and the conversion over from the old platform to the new.
Yeah, KP demo wallet's coming, which is pretty cool. That'd be good for marketing. You'll be able to like connect a fake, well, it's actually a real wallet, but you can't access the funds on it, which is kind of cool. UI wise, we want to do this like blockchain activity thing. So like currently we're about to do like the first rebase for Foxy, and it's not actually a transaction. So we want to be able to show like rebase history, and then like when ThorChain swaps come, we want to be able to do like showing a trade, which is actually like 2 transactions. So this like concept of aggregating different kind of events or like blockchain activity. So that's coming as well.
Yeah,
the swapper refactor. Yeah, go ahead.
ThorChain to the app, V2. Are you gonna have like full functionality like on ThorSwap with like BNB swaps to native Rune and stuff like that?
So we're going to do the swapping first, which will allow us to do like with the currently supported chains. So like the ETH to Bitcoin or like any ERC to Bitcoin, and then like we can actually do ThorChain swaps without like native Rune support. So that'll definitely come as well. Like we want to support native Rune, like HD Wallet already does. and it shouldn't be a major deal to create another coin stack on the back end with Unchained. But we can actually get the swapping bit in sooner, and then there's kind of a little bit of debate of like how deep we go on the like core Thorchain functionality side of things, because they've got like stints are active, like whether we provide LP support, and like Thorfire is coming. So, you know, Willie's all about the no fees sort of thing. So it'd be cool to basically like undercut Thor swap. They can't race us to the bottom if we do no fees.
Yeah, I was talking to Willie about like not even just like beating him like that, just like throwing like some Fox on top of it, and like even a small way, if we can do it in like a non-gameable way, and just outplay everybody, even if it's just through like irrational FOMO of like getting like a little bit of reward, you know, just throw some like incentive people.
Yeah, we had problems with that in the beta days. People figured that out, and they were doing like large stable to stable swaps. And getting a bunch of Fox, so we had to like blacklist those basically.
I mean,
I think the better way to do it is like just get affiliate revenues for the DAO through those trades.
Like just have like a small percent of like the affiliate revenue like be kicked back, so it's like controllable.
Mm-hmm.
So even if somebody's smoking us, like that, they're still not even really like getting that much money out of it, probably at best.
Totally. I just updated my key firmware and shit works. Great.
Hey, DeFi.
Yeah, what's up, man?
Slightly other topic. Do we have a FIO protocol node?
In the legacy stuff we do. We don't at the moment. And then John's bailed as well. I think that's like product was talking about. I think we confirmed with Theo that like it's not required going forward. We definitely have. Actually, Marley would know this.
They just had a update, so I just seen it in one of the channels. So, and you're not in it, so I was like, I wanted to ask.
I just joined and heard my name. What might I know?
Oh man,
yeah, I heard the joining noise as well. Giant King was asking about FIO nodes. I know that we run them for legacy, but I don't think we have plans to run the FIO node in Taxi Stake, do we?
FIO, like FIO, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. I don't think I wasn't responsible for the centralized ones. I maybe interacted once or twice, but they weren't great, is what I remember.
I just tagged you in the room, and that's the only reason I bring it up is because of that post today in there. I don't know if I should add it to anybody else. If we're not running one, it don't matter.
Yeah, I'm not. It's not on my.
Okay.
Oh, I see now. Theo. That's where I was tagged. Oh, cool. I'll back read this. I don't know.
Just in case. If I need to add somebody to that room, let me know.
Marley, does Taxi want to run Midgard for us?
Someone else just asked me all that. I've heard it's like I've seen it and it seems very difficult. But I just looked into it, looked at how complicated and expensive they were, and looked into the next thing for Thorchain myself.
Gotcha. It should be like looking at the Thorchain updates from their Discord. It does look like just to like get pull master and make basically. It shouldn't be that bad, but it is expensive. That's for sure.
For this FIO channel, I would tag Conscious and maybe Perklin. I think that they were more pervy to the previous node.
Yeah, I'm not really in the loop on the FIO stuff, to be honest.
Ocean's here. Let's put him on the spot.
I was literally just about to. How's Foxy going, man?
Foxy's going well. Right now, Toshi's in the middle of rewriting some of the contracts for some of the new V2 functionality, which is pretty exciting. And the other exciting piece of it is that Elastic Swap will be coming to mainnet very soon. So the instant withdrawal thing will no longer be an issue because we'll be able to have pools with Foxy versus Fox. So like an AMM pool that you could swap in and out of without actually having to worry about the withdrawal period. So that's pretty cool too.
Yeah, it's pretty dope. Yeah, I'm stoked for the next Legos. Thanks for killing it, guys. You guys are doing a really good job with Foxy. Let's see what kind of magic we can work. H-Pain and Arena. Do you guys have anything that you wanted to go over in terms of like marketing material that you might put out? Did we lose Arena, possibly?
I have nothing. I mean, if you guys want to check sort of what we have going for written content, we have a new sort of roadmap or that we're sort of following for a lot of our written content, and I can put a link shortly. But yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah, cool. Thanks, man. Yeah, we went over that yesterday with product, and I'll improve. If anybody wants to look at like some of the content that marketing is trying to cover, at least like contextual content like PRs and blog posts and stuff like that. Some social might be mixed in there. I'm not too sure. That's the spot. How's the puppy, Ron? Thing I want to cover. I'm back, Ron.
Got my key working, or my Adam.
Do I need to update like a bunch of them?
Hey, Hunt, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. And that FIO thing, that it was something about the marketing from before, and also then they had this update for a node. It's reading back here. It's about Toasty and you. What kind of deal you guys were working out for marketing? But,
yeah, I don't know. I don't think we ever. I think I might have had a call with them like a few weeks ago, possibly. I'm not too sure exactly
like
what we're saying with that.
25-ish. You guys were trying to schedule something.
Yeah, we don't have any like. There's no like real priority. I don't think at this point on that. And at least as far as I know.
Maybe they're just copying that into every room that they are in, or every server. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I mean, M. Perklin and Conscience would know, probably.
Yeah, we just dropped Conscience in there, so. Right.
Yeah.
If it's nothing, we're good. That's all.
I'll keep an eye on it. I noticed that, like, the other day, Toasty hasn't really scheduled anything, so I don't think there's any priority on it, as far as I know.
Well, it's like, I noticed that,
I was trying to. I think I was trying to, and then I just got like it got kicked back because just like no priority, like really whatsoever. So
yeah, so if we don't have anything running for them, I don't know.
Yeah.
Ready?
Yeah, we have a new mod, huh? A new mod.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's a good time to say that. This is lunch, isn't it? Well, dinner.
How's that going? Zero on you.
Say that again?
Easier on you. You don't have to be online all the time.
Yeah, that's the goal, obviously, right? Well, we'll see if it actually stopped, though. But but it's mostly those times that I can't. I'm doing something else that somebody else would be around, and he's mountain time, so that is a factor. Actually, it's kind of nice, I think.
Yeah, it works.
It's like I run home around 4:00 here. That's 2:00 for mountain time. Si's around, but heck, sometimes he walks away too. Once in a while, we got to go to the restrooms, right?
Yeah. Hey, Seth, I had a question about, I think I missed that call where you went over like those treasury documents that you've been working on. Could you give me like a quick highlight of like everything you went over there? Because I missed it.
Sure. The basic gist of it is that the DAO has been spending more, but also making more. So there's a slow but consistent increase in both our revenues and expenses. And overall, despite the big downturn in the market, it seems that the DAO itself is in good straits. The downside is that most of our treasury is still in Fox. I think it's like 70-80%. So it's the value of the treasury is still very sensitive to the Fox price.
How many months have we been profitable though?
That's a little difficult to answer because I actually haven't finished my charts yet. And the charts that I used to calculate profit had some issues. So I still haven't worked that out yet.
I'd be interested to see like profitability data after we've been profitable for like a year, probably. But it's cool to know.
Part of what's obfuscating it is that the biggest expense besides the work streams is our Olympus bonds. And the question is, do you consider that an expense, or are we considering it as we've manufactured the tokens, so it's not an expense? So I'm including charts with both.
I mean, I would consider like the fees we pay, like to like the premium that we pay for that,
right,
as an expense. I wouldn't necessarily label the bonding as like an expense. Like any premium that we pay, and I guess there could be like a cost associated with like risk and like lockup or whatever, like using money for whatever. But
I liked the cost of goods sold model. So like Fox is, I think this is Darwin's mentality, but it made sense to me at that point. And it is hard to reconcile with the bonds. I agree with that. But yeah, these dashboards are actually amazing. I'm super into them.
Yeah, good work.
Thank you, Marley. Yeah, but like the thing that Seth was trying to explain is, so we in like the dashboard that I built that has the chart, it shows the Fox token that people are buying through the Olympus bond as a cost, right? Like in a normal company, if you are selling something, you had to buy that before, right? So in the model, it is considering the Fox token at market price at the time of the purchase. So that is what it's reflecting, a massive cost because, people are buying that with a discount. So we are losing money. But the other thing that Seth was trying to say, like, we actually didn't pay for the Fox, right? Like we didn't invest any money. The DAO just received that Fox. So you might consider that you are selling that for full income. I don't know if that makes sense. So yeah, that's it.
You guys,
If we consider,
I sent you a link to the chart from the income statement, and that shows both the revenues, the total workstream expenses, and the Olympus bond expenses.
these are badass. This is sweet. Thanks, Darwin. Yeah, I mean, I guess there's a bunch of argument, sort of like on the side of the value of bonding so much and everything. I think that it's probably worth our while to do now, at least like while we stabilize liquidity and get like more and more involved with the market and like good stuff. So
well, I just think if it's clear to investors why it's worth our while, then it won't be as big a deal, right? Because if you don't know why we're doing Olympus bonds or the value it brings to the DAO, it just looks like, oh, we have all these workstream expenses where the actual value of the company is generated, and then there's this other thing that's equal in cost, which I found ironic. So the Olympus stuff costs us about as much as all the work streams put together.
But it also provides us with like an economic stability, sort of, like, in terms of I think like the strategy there is to try to like build a solid foundation of like health in terms of like liquidity, so we don't have like any weird market movements because of like stale market conditions, I guess, basically. There's like a ton of value if like people understand like some economic theory and stuff. They can see the value there. I guess it all depends on how you look at the data and how you guys put it together. I don't think like by like what I see, I don't see like any real significant like money pits in terms of like DAO spend right now. So I think everything looks pretty healthy. It would be cool to see like average revenue after like a year of profitability, maybe like 18 months, and like see our growth. But I still think that data will still be pretty young, even at that point. So appreciate you guys starting this so early, and definitely appreciate you guys working on it further.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I definitely expect this to get more sophisticated over time. Right now, it's just getting the basics.
Yeah, and seeing so on that note, like seeing the Olympus bonds visualized in this way was pretty jarring. However, I do see the strong advantage of like these funds need to be raised some way, and this has been proven to be a moderately like an effective way to stack non-correlated assets like Ethan USDC, excuse me. And I think now that we have other avenues like Porter Finance in the future, Hedgie, like if those prove to be any way successful, I would think it'd be great to taper, but with the idea that we need runway of several months to a year plus for operating expenses. This is currently the best method, but totally think it could be revisited once we have more alternatives. And I'm totally thinking about runway and stuff a lot lately with just macro markets. It scares the bejeebus out of me, and it's a good way to dollar cost average.
I hate to put you on the spot even more, but in terms of like profitability, how are the validators going? I know marketing needs to like put up a few more tweets about like validator awareness and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I try to be so yeah, it's interesting. It's profitable still, and like most of it comes from Cosmos, just because that's where the most US dollars staked is. It's just like a relation of like there's X dollars staked, you earn like 0.05% of that in revenue, and they earn 0.5 or something like that, like 5%. I could model it better. In the validators channel, I posted some new screenshots that I've been working on where like total value staked is totally tied to the price of Atom. And like I was, back in December, I was like, oh my God, this is the greatest thing ever. And now that was at like $40 Atom or whatever. And it's getting closer to spooky, but it's still working. It's really cool to see in Darwin's model, the linear growth on UST to the DAO, if that makes sense. Like that is working extremely well. I love to see that growing in dollar amounts. And that's just because we're adding more validators, and that makes sense. Taxi stake is also tied to revenue from the price of atoms, which is going down, which is scary. It makes it just thinner margins. And then like long tail assets like Chihuahua Chain are just similar to how Fox is more at the mercy of ETH. Like Chihuahua is at the mercy of Atom. So they're highly correlated is what I'm trying to say. So it's still working and everything's great and everything's going to be fine. It's just not as like moon fumes as it was at $40 Atom or whatever it was at the top. Is that a good answer?
Does that would that mean that it would be like a relevant territory for the DAO to think about, like if the cost of Atom is lower, to like try to maybe add, like have the DAO add to tools or add to like your validator count while it's cheaper to do so, or is that?
That'd be dope. Another thing I've been running into is just availability of like servers and stuff. Like the cost of a Dell server has doubled in 2 years, and now they're like 2 or 3 months out. So a lot of stuff we self-host, a lot of stuff is in the cloud, and all those costs are inflating. Go figure. Adding more, totally would love to do that. And maybe if we can figure out a way to get atoms into a Gnosis safe, maybe the DAO can choose to hold those and sell them when they're higher or something like that. Did that answer your question? I maybe didn't get it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if it would be cheaper to like add to our like infra, like in terms of like having a deeper relationship with like Taxi Stake and putting up more validators and trying to like explore further, especially like if it's cheaper to actually enter one of these situations with pricing down, you know?
Yeah.
Like
I don't know.
Strategy, like PCA style, basically. But yeah, it's just one of those things.
Yeah. Yeah, it's also hard because the DAO itself can't hold atoms and can't stake atoms, so that gets more and more complicated. But yeah, I'm always open to exploring more ways to scale up. So I think it's maybe a longer conversation. I don't know.
Yeah, we have like 2 minutes. If anybody has anything they want to go over, before we shut this down.
Well, on that line, like that will be much easier to market as this gets deeper integration with the ShapeShift platform. Right now, it's like we could say, well, go and get the Kepler wallet and buy it on Coinbase and transfer it over, and then search for the ShapeShift validator. Like it's a complicated process. The fact that we're doing well as it is, you know. So I think if this is front and center on the ShapeShift platform, this will be a much, much, much easier story to tell.
Buy native atoms with Banksa, I think, or sorry, whoever.
Yeah, I was asking about that earlier. Gem doesn't support it, but I guess Banksa does.
I think that I remember seeing one of them does. And so, yeah, like I'd love to see a video of like 30 seconds edited down, like buy, stake, earn rewards, profit.
You know, along these lines, HPain and HPain had a really good idea of focusing on YouTube shorts, which we don't have any of that right now. And those are just super short, you know, you flip through. And we're thinking about content, and that could be one, definitely.
Yeah, that's something I was even going to start exploring for Taxi Stake on like Fiverr or something. But if we could partner with a DAO, that'd be really cool.
Yeah, that sounds cool to me. I'm always down. Hoping that I can draw up like some staking rewards, like terms with Willie Friday or something to try to get those over to them and maybe get some sort of agreement going. Have them throw in like a bonus for Taxi Stake at some sort of listing if the DAO does do this or something. I think it's mutually beneficial to have like Taxi Stake up there, of course, with like the validators that run for ShapeShift as well as ShapeShift's validators. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm going to jump off here. Appreciate everybody's time.
Yeah, glad I caught the end of it.
Oh, thanks, everyone.
GM.
I'm going to go get myself a COVID test.
Good luck.